Hello everyone, I'm Ivan and I'm going today to show you how to create a custom window in ArchiCAD. I'd been looking for this tutorial quite a bit myself and I could not really find one. I found myself looking through a lot of different videos trying to find out how one creates these windows if one wishes in ArchiCAD, and so I thought that I would make one today. So let's get started. So essentially what we are going to do is we are going to model it using the Slab tool. We take our Slab tool, open up the settings, and what you want to do is choose a material for your frame, in my case timber here, and you want to choose a thickness for the frame. In this case I'll use 50 millimeters, which is approximately common for the visible element of the frame. And then what we will do is we'll select the line tool and create some guidelines first. You probably do not have to do this if you do not want to, but I like to have guidelines, it makes it easier. And you draw the shape of your window. So a lot of my houses have these kinds of angular windows, and so we will create one of these like this. And this is what we will model. So then you select the Slab tool, and you follow those guidelines to draw your shape. And if we look in the 3D view, we will see that we have there our slab, 50 millimeters of whatever material you have chosen. And next we want to create another slab. Essentially what we're doing right now is creating the frame, which we will then fill in with glass. So I will create a new set of guidelines. I will essentially offset this initial shape by 50 millimeters in order to create the frame. There is probably an easier way of doing this, but I do not know it. So I will create more guidelines. And yes, I know that is slightly off angle, but for the purposes of this, it will work. And I like making these guidelines because it makes it very easy then to subtract from the first slab polygon that we have created the part that we will eventually fill in with glass. And so to do that, you select a node, you click on the subtract polygon tool and follow the guidelines to cut out the part that will eventually be the glass in the window. And if we look in 3D again, we have now just the frame as one slab. So now we will create the window itself, and to do that we use a second slab. And what you want to do is make sure that you have selected the material of glass in this case. So we will do that there. And we will then choose a thickness. Once more I will use 50 millimeters again, just for the sake of this. And we will then fill in the frame with glass. So now we have, in 3D again, we have the timber frame of the window and the glass surface modeled. And now lastly we want to create a third slab, which will become the wall hole for the window. This is a slab that essentially tells ArchiCAD that this object, this shape, will form a hole in a wall. And to do that you want to cover the perimeter of the entire object with a third slab. Like so. And then open up select that slab and then open up the settings. And down here where it says ID under tags and categories, you want to replace what is in that window with wallhole. And that will establish that third slab. It will make it invisible and it will make it as a cutting shape when this window is placed into a wall. It is a very common mistake here to have the wall hole at a smaller thickness than the window, and if that is the case, when you later save this object as a window, the wall hole will be too small, and if you have a too thick wall, make sure to note that you will not have your window visible in that wall. So then what do you do to make this, to save this selection as a window? What we'll do is select all of them, all three slabs, and go up here to Libraries and Objects, and click Save Selection as Window, and we will type in a name for that window and save it. And you have just created a window in ArchiCAD, a custom window, and you can change different settings here in terms of how it is represented. I will just leave that, all of the defaults there for the sake of this tutorial. And it is nice that the next time that you select the window tool, your custom window automatically comes up. So if we take the window there and click on a wall, we can place the window that we have just created. And there we have a custom window created in ArchiCAD 19. So I hope that this was helpful and that it will help people create interesting looking windows. I will also put all of the directions in the comments or in the description box below.